Welcome to Highway Herald, your roadmap to the latest in auto. Today, we're exploring Spain's surprising shift in trade policy with China, which has sent shockwaves through Europe's automotive landscape. Spain's decision to ease tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles raises significant questions about its economic future and international relations. In this video, we'll delve into the details of this unexpected move, its contrast with the rest of Europe, and what it could mean for the continent's trade future. Here are 7 key reasons behind this dramatic turnaround. Reason number 7. The driving forces behind Spain's change of heart. Spain's pivot on tariffs concerning Chinese EVs arises from a complex web of economic, political, and diplomatic influences. Initially, Spain stood firm on imposing substantial tariffs to protect its automotive industry and preserve local jobs. The original proposal from the EU sought to establish tariffs as high as 38% in response to China's aggressive subsidy strategies, which allowed its manufacturers to undercut prices dramatically. This stance was articulated during a non-binding consultation in July 2023, where Spain aligned with the EU's collective goal of countering perceived unfair competition. However, a notable diplomatic engagement between Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez and Chinese officials has reshaped Spain's position. During his pivotal visit to Beijing, Sánchez highlighted the need for a reassessment of the tariff strategy, stressing that escalating tensions could result in retaliatory trade measures harmful to Spain's economy. His discussions with Chinese President Xi Jinping marked a shift towards fostering cooperation rather than confrontation. The newfound warmth between Spain and China signals a readiness to prioritize economic collaboration over stringent protectionist measures. Reason number 6. The economic landscape and its impact on trade. Spain's economic framework plays a crucial role in shaping its trade policies with China. With a strong reliance on exports, particularly in sectors such as agriculture and automotive manufacturing, the threat of a trade war over EV tariffs loomed large. Spanish exporters were understandably anxious about the potential loss of access to vital markets. In 2023, Spain's pork exports to China soared to an impressive 1.2 billion euros, accounting for 21% of all Chinese pork imports. By pivoting toward a more amicable trade relationship with China, Sánchez aims to protect these essential economic interests. Through constructive dialogue, Spain seeks to mitigate the risks associated with tariff-related conflicts, ensuring its exports remain strong and safeguarding Spanish farmers from potential retaliatory actions. This delicate balancing act underscores Spain's role as a bridge between its domestic industries and the broader global market. Reason number 5. The diverging trade perspectives, Spain versus Germany. Spain's shift in trade policy has caught the attention of other EU member states, particularly Germany. As the largest economy in the EU with a formidable automotive sector, Germany remains staunchly in favor of maintaining proposed tariffs. German officials argue that these tariffs are essential for shielding their domestic manufacturers from China's competitive edge. The fear is that Spain's departure from the EU's unified strategy could jeopardize Germany's access to one of the world's most significant automotive markets. Conversely, countries like France and Italy are solid supporters of the tariffs, believing they are necessary to level the playing field for European manufacturers amidst China's aggressive trade practices. This divergence in perspectives highlights the complexities of decision-making within the EU, where national interests often clash with collective strategies. Spain's stance could prove pivotal, complicating the consensus-building process among member states. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more content like this. Now let's explore reason number 4. China's response, a shift in global trade dynamics. With Spain's evolving trade stance, China has been swift to react. Following the announcement of Spain's reconsideration of tariffs, Chinese officials voiced concerns about potential trade barriers, labeling the proposed tariffs as unjust. In a show of defiance, China launched investigations into various EU imports, including pork and dairy products, signaling their readiness to implement countermeasures. This escalation is particularly alarming for Spanish exporters in the agricultural sector. As the largest importer of Spanish pork, valued at $1.5 billion in 2022, any punitive actions from Beijing could carry severe consequences. The ongoing tensions between the EU and China reflect a broader trend of deteriorating relations between Western nations and Beijing, raising crucial questions about the future of global trade dynamics and the need for countries to reevaluate their reliance on Chinese supply chains. Reason number 3. Navigating national interests and EU unity. Spain's pivot towards a more amicable relationship with China isn't solely an economic strategy. It also raises significant concerns about the cohesion within the EU. As member states grapple with diverse economic priorities and needs, Spain's shift highlights the precarious balance between national interests and collective EU goals. The ability of a qualified majority to block proposed tariffs may depend on countries like Spain advocating for compromise and collaboration. This scenario positions Spain uniquely to foster dialogue between the EU and China. By championing a more constructive approach, Prime Minister Sanchez aims to bridge the gap between varying perspectives, promoting collaboration that benefits both regions. The challenge lies in maneuvering through the complexities of national priorities while ensuring that Spain's influence remains strong within the broader EU framework. Reason number 2, the outlook for EU-China relations. As Spain charts its new trade course, the repercussions for EU-China relations are significant. Sanchez's push for dialogue could create a foundation for a more balanced relationship that emphasizes mutual benefits over adversarial competition. By facilitating discussions between EU representatives and Chinese officials, Spain may encourage China to make voluntary commitments aimed at reducing export imbalances, potentially alleviating tensions and establishing a more stable trade environment. The future of EU-China relations rests on both parties' ability to identify common ground. The vote on tariffs was a pivotal moment, not just for Spain but for the EU as a whole. A collaborative framework could lay the groundwork for a more constructive partnership, addressing trade imbalances while safeguarding European manufacturers from unfair competition. Reason number 1, strategic repercussions for European manufacturing. The strategic implications of Spain's shift towards China reach far beyond immediate economic concerns. By advocating for cooperation, Sanchez acknowledges the growing interconnectedness of global trade. In an age of rising protectionism and economic nationalism, the ability to foster partnerships instead of confrontations is essential. A collaborative relationship with China could yield substantial benefits for European manufacturing. By addressing local manufacturers' concerns while simultaneously engaging with Chinese counterparts, Spain could position itself as a key player in shaping the future of EU-China trade relations. This strategic pivot may also inspire other EU member states to reconsider their own trade policies, steering them towards dialogue and cooperation in an increasingly intricate global environment. Final thoughts: Spain's shift and its impact on Europe. In summary, Spain's unexpected pivot in trade relations with China could redefine EU-China dynamics. As Sanchez advocates for a more friendly approach, the potential for constructive dialogue may lead to solutions benefiting both Spain's economic interests and the EU's broader needs. This shift extends beyond Spain, influencing how other EU nations shape their trade policies. The vote on tariffs was a critical moment for Spain and the EU, as member states weigh collaboration against the risks of protectionism. Will this strategy foster a more balanced relationship with China? The stakes are high, with lasting repercussions for European trade. As we keep a close eye on these developments, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What's your take on Spain's change of heart regarding trade with China? Do you believe it will strengthen the European economy, or are there underlying risks that should be considered? Share your insights in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Highway Herald for timely updates on the latest vehicle news and trade analyses. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.